This is a gloomy morning. It's drizzling still. Totally different environment than the Gap Trail, which I just came from. So yeah, let's see what it's all about. It's absolutely beautiful so far. I didn't think the trail was gonna look like this. Didn't research it much, just heard it was a good trail, and wow, the sun's trying to come out. The rain is starting to end. This is a totally interesting and unique environment. I've never ridden through anything like this. This trail is amazing so far. I'm just 5 miles in and I'm loving this. I almost like it more than the Gap so far, which I can't believe. Oh nice, a pine bed. I love pine beds, it gets really quiet. And this is a beautiful trail. I cannot believe how good this is. There's something very unique about this swamp. As beautiful as the river was, the Yucagani, along the GAP trail, there's something equally mysterious, spooky, autumnal as we enter the Halloween season. Seeing the leaves change and seeing the swamp on the left. There's something triggering my inner child here where I'm feeling the fall vibes, I'm feeling the Halloween vibes. I'm feeling the spooky vibes of this area. It's an old historic area, a lot of Civil War history in this area, and all that is stoking my inner child and making me very excited about riding this trail. I'm about 8 miles in now. Are you gonna complete the trail?
Yeah.
Oh cool, going to DC. So you can see I was talking to someone back there at the lock. That was the first lock house. I think there's a lot of those along the way. I didn't really get to read what it's all about, but I believe that's maybe where someone who controlled the canal would stay and live. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think so. That woman was a little skittish, so I didn't film her, but we're actually on the same tour. She booked with the same touring company. We're going to the same location, so I think we'll be leapfrogging each other all day on the trail. I said that to her. I said, we're playing leapfrog all day. So yeah, this is a beautiful trail. I think I like this better than the Gap. I can't believe that. 10 miles into this trail, I'm actually liking it more. I think because of the history. It just feels really old, historic, and spooky in this area.
See you again.
Cool, man.
Running into you on the side of the trail.
Good talk. Good
Enjoy
talk.
the rest of your tour.
You too. So that was a lot of fun right there. I just rode 3 miles with this guy, Jason. And Jason, I told you I might start a YouTube. If I do, and you see this, shout out my man. That was really fun riding with him. He saw that I was riding a Fairlight Secan, and he's like, oh man, I've literally been looking into buying that bike. So we just talked about this bike for a while and just bikes in general. And then kind of just where we're all from. Fun conversation, really cool guy. So yeah, that was fun. That was the first time I actually rode some miles on the trail with another person. So a really unique experience. So yeah, anyway, cool moment on the trail. Anyone ever sees me out on the trail and wants to ride, just do it. I'll ride with anyone, anytime. This goes back to when I was a kid. I think bikes are meant to be social vehicles. I would always bike to friends' house. We would always bike together places, and to this day I feel that way. If anyone ever wants to saddle up next to me and ride for a few miles, yeah. As long as you're not an asshole. Meanwhile, the trail is still super baller. So far for me, this trail is a 10 out of 10. I'm loving this. Can't explain why precisely, other than what I've already said about the spooky vibes and the history and all that. I would say this is a must-do trail. People have said that this C&O trail is not as good. It's more rustic. There's fewer amenities, and I think that's all true. But I actually think it's a slightly more pleasing trail. It really depends on what kind of rider you are. If you like history, if you like trains, if you like history, if you like the Civil War, if you like old spooky looking swamps like this, like, yeah, mostly flat riding. This is all flat. The Gap had more of an incline. As always, it comes down to preference. I'm giving this so far a slight edge, but it's really close. For me so far, this is a 10 out of 10 trail. This would be my favorite trail of all time if it holds up and stays this way. These bluffs came out of nowhere off to my right here. Swamp to the left. This is a baller, grade A, class A trail. Look at the trees. Got another lock house coming up. The Potomac River is off to the right. I think this is the first time I've seen the Potomac. These lock houses are really cool. Look at the history here, I mean. I didn't realize Maryland was this gorgeous. I never really got out into the countryside of Maryland. It's amazing out here. Something unique here. It's like it almost doesn't get quite as much rain as PA, but wants to be PA. Which I actually like. I think it's interesting. It's a little drier. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. That's my perception though. That was wild, guys. Went through that tunnel back there. This is the end of it. That was actually scary in there. It's also very bumpy. Wow, this is something. Has anyone ever ridden a trail that looked like this? I know I haven't. I almost feel like I'm in the Pacific Northwest during this section. This does not feel like Maryland. This feels more like Washington State to me. Just this brief section here. Trail is lovely, look at that. But yeah, slow going due to the mud. I'm about 5 miles from my destination, so let's call this a day. Okay, with 6 miles left to go, I'm just gonna give a summary of this trail and what I think about this trail. For me, it's the best 30 to 40 miles of trail I've ever ridden. I do think that comes down to personal taste, personal riding style. I like the autumn season. I like spooky things. The history here, the locks, the old structures along the trail, the gnarly trees in this landscape. These trees here are a little different than on the Gap Trail. They're a little more scraggly and gnarly. We have the Potomac to the right, the canal to the left. In the canal were turtles and other interesting wildlife. All things considered, all of those things, again, it's personal taste. I just happen to love spooky season and that kind of vibe, and these woods are definitely a little different than in the Gap. I really think you should check them both out. Yeah, that's my take on this trail. I will say one other thing. The history of the area is just amazing. And tomorrow I have 70 miles, I believe I ride, and it's going to be through historical areas. Looking forward to that. The distance being so large, I might not film as much, but I'll give a synopsis of what I see and I'll try to get the best stuff. But yeah, like always, I feel like you need to get out here and experience it for yourself and decide which you like the best. Yeah, that's my take on the trail. Awesome trail. I'm giving day 1 a 10 out of 10, and we'll see what day 2 and 3 on the trail bring.